Well, John, right through the entire pandemic, the customer interest in the digital solutions was tremendous because they all recognized once they dealt with the health and safety of employees that engaging with customers digitally was going to be the most important aspect of how they continue to thrive as a business. And underlying how Adobe operates, we have this amazing process. We call it the data-driven operating model, which allows us to frankly take data from all these various diverse viewpoints and analyze them and understand what that means for demand, for engagement of our customers. I would say the North America macroeconomic situation is still better, and I think we're starting to get into a more normal post-pandemic environment. I think some of the other countries are still suffering, as we know, both as a result of lockdowns and unfortunately an increase in viruses. But we would say that the small and medium business, which was perhaps impacted a little bit more last year, that's come back. The basic consumer demand for all of our products just continues to be strong. And I think for enterprises, what I would say is the difference is they always had interest in our digital solutions. And right now they're saying we have to open up our purses and spend, because if we don't spend, we will be disadvantaged relative to the competition. So overall, I would say it appears to be a more stable environment, but again, driven primarily by North America.
Now, is any of this a pull forward in demand, in the sense that in order to get out of this pandemic time period, in order to drive digital initiatives as physical begins to open up, customers are leaning in more than they ordinarily would, or is this more a new normal? Are you at the point where you can tell whether it's one or the other or something else?
Adobe's always talked about the incredible addressable market opportunity that we have. It's over $140 billion in terms of the addressable market. And if you look at our results relative to what we had originally guided as an annual target, it's clear we're going to blow it away, John. And so I would say it actually reflects for us more the tailwinds associated with each of the businesses. We do expect a little bit more of the summer seasonality as people hopefully in this new normal actually go out, spend time with family, maybe do a little bit more travel. And then we expect the seasonal strength back in Q4, which for somebody like you who's followed us for a long time, that's the seasonally strongest quarter. So we don't think it's a pull-in of demand. We just think it's the new normal in terms of how digital is more mission critical across all these customer segments.
Okay, now talk to me about product momentum and innovation. I noticed, I happen to be an Adobe Creative Cloud customer, so a number of products updated just recently, particularly for the M1 Max, but across the board. How has your productivity in engineering continued to keep pace through the pandemic, and what are your plans as that reopening happens for Adobe itself to bring people back into the office, or to have them continue to be remote? What's the roadmap there?
Well, two great questions. First, I think on the innovation roadmap, as we talked about in our earnings release, we're incredibly excited about the amazing product innovation that people are working on, everything from Adobe Sensei and our artificial intelligence framework. When you talk about Adobe Scan, 100 million downloads, 1 billion scans done to date. So mobile has clearly been a big area of focus for us. Collaboration and enabling teams to be more productive as they're working in different locations, that will continue to be a theme for us. I think having the cloud continue to be the place where we get all of this data and we analyze it and we provide insights, both on the creative side as well as on the digital experience side, that'll be an area of innovation for us. I do want to highlight the new customer data platform, the real-time customer data platform, and everything that we did on the digital experience to help power digital businesses. That business is doing incredibly well, and we have reimagined things like customer journey analytics and customer experience management on that new platform. So the innovation roadmap is really exciting. Max, as you say, will always be another one of those events where we talk a lot more about what the company is working on. And as it relates to your second question, John, and how we think about it, first, I will say it feels so great to be able to talk to you from within the office right now. But in addition to that, a couple of things. We've defined a future of work. We have a framework and a blueprint for how we want to come back. We want to come back in a limited way for those who've been vaccinated. So we do a pilot in San Jose. As you know, parts of Australia and Asia have already been open. But we continue to believe that the core focus for the company is making sure that we enable people to collaborate in a more flexible way by coming into the office because it's incredibly important for us to build culture. So we're gearing up for people coming back perhaps in the September timeframe in a more flexible way. But we will also define a set of workers that we call remote workers. And for those remote workers, I think we have a criteria because, frankly, it's a privilege and not an entitlement. And for them, we just want to make sure that they understand the culture of Adobe and that they have leadership roles so that they can continue to thrive. Because if we don't grow people's careers, just allowing somebody to be remote without thinking about how we can help them grow at the company, I think is short-sighted, John.